How you doing, folks? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Coach Stan podcast. And quick recap of episode 1 and what we covered. I mentioned that the inspiration for starting this podcast is a woman that I've worked with for a year and a half now, who came to me after sustaining a car accident and 9 years post the car accident, found herself extremely unhealthy, unable to move, and extremely overweight. So we started working together, and about a year and a half ago, and now as of our last coaching session this past weekend, she's lost 106 pounds. So that was the inspiration for starting this, and sort of trying to find a forum to get content out to folks who want to take control of their health, their wellness, or even use the principles here for some other aspect of their life. Because whether it's health, fitness, achievement, performance, business, the principles of success are the principles of success. So that was the inspiration for the podcast. We made a little bit fun of New Year's resolutions. We talked about why they usually don't work. And that's because people don't spend enough time thinking about the process, and they spend a little bit too much time thinking about the end result. There's a lot that goes into achieving things, and as we mentioned on the first podcast, folks need to spend a little bit more time thinking about process. And then the last thing that we left you with was that this concept of imperfection, and why my health coaching woman, my health coaching client, was able to succeed and achieve the weight loss that she achieved over the period of time, was that she was willing to be imperfect. She had a tremendous amount of obstacles, but she was willing to be imperfect. She was willing to do what she could, and that has led to tremendous success. So that being said, let's continue making fun of New Year's resolutions. No, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, the best New Year's resolution that I was ever a part of actually took place in October. So you can make a resolution whenever you want. But a friend actually came to me in October, about 5 years ago, and it's a good story, worth listening to. A good friend of mine came to me and was talking about the fact that when the summer's over and the fall's almost over and winter's coming, he would tend to get a little emotionally down, like a lot of us do. And so we talked about it, and one of the things that was bothering him was that he wanted to get more consistent with his fitness life. And he felt like, if he could get his fitness life consistent, then that would alleviate the kind of emotional downers that he and a lot of us go through at certain times of the year, depending upon certain factors. So we talked, kind of turned into a little bit of a coaching session. And we collaborated and came up with one to-do item. And he had to execute this to-do item for 90 days. So we kept it simple. and we also gave it a time domain, a finish line. A lot of times folks kind of go off the rails a little bit because they don't have a finish line. They don't have a finish line and then a progression after the finish line. It's just like they just go. And anyway, so we came up with one to-do item that he had to execute for 90 days. Simple. We kept it very simple. And that's another, kind of principle of succeeding is simplicity. The simpler you can keep things, the greater your probability of success and following through. Because we all have crazy lives to manage. So the simpler you keep it, greater your probability for success. Single-mindedness. So long story short, back to my buddy. One to-do item, 90 days. To his credit, he executed. No judgments for 90 days. That was kind of what we came up with. And he executed the plan for 90 days and found himself on the other side of that 90 days with a whole new habit. A habit that 5 years later, he's continued without deviation for it's about 5 years. I think this past October was 5 years. Might be 4, might be 6, whatever. It's a long time. No time off from his fitness life in that 5-year span. So wanted to throw that out there as a little story, success story, as you think about making any changes or achieving goals of any kind. Keep it simple, and then put a finish line on it. And then, because at that finish line, then you can reassess. And that's what we talked about. We talked about hit the finish line, and then if you hate this, you don't want to do it anymore, fuck it. We'll do something else. But no judgments for 90 days. And the rest is history. He's in phenomenal shape, consistently going through his fitness life. And it's a good story. So wanted to share that with everybody, and hopefully you have some good takeaways from that. And that's it. We're going to wrap it up for the day. I want to keep these short. I'd like to keep them somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes because everybody's extremely busy, and humans, generally speaking, humans learn their best in small doses. So we want to kind of honor that and honor the human experience and how we all kind of operate. So thank you for listening. And the only thing I'll ask, if you could, is to just like or subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That'd be cool. And if you don't want to, don't. No big deal. But if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, that'd be great. I'm trying to download this on Spotify, so hopefully there'll be a channel on Spotify at some point. But for now, here we are. Thanks for listening, everyone, and that's it. I'll see you next time. Thank you.